Hey everybody, as you may have seen in our last video, we were starting the install of 19-pound 4-hole injectors and the DEI fuel injector rail cover and fuel blah blah blah, anti-boil over. Basically, if you don't know about Jeep 4 liters, they have this thing where if you don't have that heat shield right here, the fuel will boil in the rail and the rail will be dry every time you go try to start it after a heat soak. We took this fuel line off about, what, 2 minutes ago, and it was bone dry. And this Jeep ran yesterday. So that rail should still be pressurized. It's not a return system, so it should be sitting here completely pressurized, waiting for the next start. However, the fuel boiled because of the heat, and it vaporized and pushed itself out of the line. So it would, when you start it up, it would be vapor locked and it would stumble and not run well. We cleaned the throttle body in the last one. We put a phenolic spacer on underneath just for extra heat protection. But now we're going to take this fuel rail off. We're going to get these old single hole injectors out. We're going to install these EV1 connector. Yeah, EV1 connector 4-hole 19-pound injectors. These are Ford injectors. These are the 917s. So the only thing we need some petroleum jelly there, tough guy. So we'll have to get that out, and let's see how this goes. Let's get that fuel rail off. So while we didn't film it because we were using expletives and we would have been completely demonetized from YouTube, not that we monetized, but we might have been kicked off. Anyway, when you undo the fuel rail, imagine those fuel injectors are in there tight. You'll pull some of them out with the O-ring and some of them you'll pull out without the O-ring. You got to go back with a pick and get all the O-rings out, otherwise you'll never get it to seal. Ours are pretty wiped. If you look at the O-rings, they're already done. They're nasty, right? But that means we still have to check the other side. Yeah, those O-rings, we definitely lost one or two. Yeah, no, we definitely. You got to make sure they're on the injectors. My advice to everyone is count your fucking O-rings. You should have a 6-cylinder should have 12 O-rings. Very simple. So you have 2. Now you got to go count the ones that are on the injectors, and that'll tell you how many you still have in the engine, which we're going to check anyway. But it's good that we have that knowledge. You can take this opportunity to clean your fuel rail out, which we're going to do a little bit of this cleaner. It's hot. Oh, it's so hot today. It's like 94 degrees in the shade. And kick that gas can out of the direct sun too. Yeah, see, you have one by your foot. That's what happens when you throw them when you're angry. They were really stuck in there. We had to use pliers to pull them out. What are we looking at? So you got 6 so far? Yeah. How many are on the injectors?
I think we got all the O-rings. I'm not grabbing anything.
So check the injectors. Any injector, as long as it has an O-ring on the engine side, you're good to go.
Engine side.
O-ring on the engine side.
O-ring on the engine side.
Some of those are so disgusting.
All of them got O-rings on the engine
All right,
side.
cool. So we know that they're not in there, but honestly, we're going to clean that out too. So take this up over there. We'll use a little bit of this, but right now I just want to get them cleaned out, and then what we'll do is we'll
PVA inside of this?
Well, yes. So you're going to put this in the end of that fuel rail, spray a bunch in there, and then put your finger over it. Yeah, they're all just going to come out each to bottom. So you're going to just spray it in. It's going to spray back out at your head. So what would be the smart thing to do here, boy? Very good. And again, this just pushes any contaminants out through to each hole. Now what we didn't bring out here was petroleum jelly, and that's something we are going to need to put this all back together. We definitely have to lube up those O-rings when you're putting them back together. We're going to put them into the rail first, and we'll put the rail on as one piece. But we have to put them into the rail, and then we got to get that guy out, wrap the rail, and get ready for the can't think of the word. What am I trying to say?
The heat shield?
Oh, heat shield. I gotta get ready to put the heat shield on. It is hot out here. I think I said that earlier, but I'm really starting to get delirious at this point. Extra O-ring. How about that?
I'll go up there.
Anyway, let's cut to us back in the shop doing this, because gosh darn. So let's see what came in this fuel injection kit. All right, cool. Hey, look at that. We even get injector O-rings just in case we didn't have any. That's awesome. We're gonna put that in our face safer rainy day kits.
So
Yeah,
that's
Velcro.
That's the line wrap.
Nice. Oh, look, they gave us a new shield for the bottom too.
Yeah, that's the one that we need.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool.
I don't know what this is.
These are injector wraps. So these actually go on around the injectors themselves. And this goes to replace the shield, and this goes around the fuel rail.
Yep.
So let's get that on the fuel rail and see how easy that's put together.
Are we gonna do injector wraps too?
So first things first, let's start with the easy, low-hanging fruit. Is we have to find out if we have Vaseline in this house, and you know we're not the kind of house that usually has Vaseline. So pull this up real quick.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Off each one. One more. Get in there with your hands, man. I gotta. There you go. All right. So as you can see,
That's enough.
That's enough room because you just gotta center on those three. These 3 bolts go through those 3 holes. Get your plugs on the other end of that.
Yeah. The 3 bolts.
Hold on. Are we putting it upside down? You gotta look and see. Ah, no, that one covers there. That one covers there. All I gotta do is get that on the other side of the throttle body. Just bend it a little bit. I'm sure it's there. You go. No, it's fine. Because you know what? It's gonna bend a little bit when we put it all back down anyway.
Yeah.
That should keep the heat from the fuel rail right there. That would be even, in my book, that would even be acceptable for solving 80% of your problems. But we're gonna use the whole kit to its full potential. We're gonna wrap the rail too. We're struggling a bit with the fuel rail, but this
Ain't too bad.
DEI kit's pretty interesting. It's got the cutouts for various points, except for the fuel pressure regulator. It's the only spot that doesn't seem to be thought of in this. So, and of course we didn't have any petroleum jelly, so we use A&D ointment. It's 55% petroleum jelly and then lanolin and other things, so that'll work. It worked just fine so far. We got these in, we got the rail wrapped. We had to make a cutout for the fuel pressure regulator because that apparently is not thought of. I think that other Renix style don't use a regulator on here like this, so it fits more applications than just this one. But boom, wow, you're being liberal. No diaper rash for this guy. We're gonna try to stick this whole rail in as one piece. Let's go out and see how that all works out. All right, this is kind of simple. We took the old one off, we'll put the new one on just the same. Just line it all up and we're gonna push it in. You have to get yourself all cleared out. Make sure you're under where you're supposed to be on all of them, and it doesn't matter if a little bit of the stuff gets wiped off. I mean, really the harder part is getting it in the rails because you use the bolt pressure to hold it into the ports.
You can't be on that.
Yep, keep going. Just give it a good oomph on each one. There, push from this end too, and again. Look at, you see how it's seated pretty darn quickly. Once you get your bolts in your rail, start tightening them down. You got this one has a stud, that one has a stud. Get them nice and tight. We'll put all the clips back on, put us all back together. And now we're all bolted back together. So we're gonna key it on and see if we can't get a few key cycles, prime that rail and look for any kind of leaks. Do you have a, here, let's see if we, make sure we got fuel at the rail. Got a little Schrader valve here. We'll just give it a little, yep. Fuel rail's pressurized. I don't see any oil, any gas. All right, 3, 2, 1, contact there, sir. Okay. Now, we did change a bunch of things, so it's gonna seem like it's a little pissed off. Got some spray down the carb. I want you to do me a favor, do it again. Hold on. There's the idler control motor doing its job. Very nice. What's up?
That's a lot better of an idle too.
Check engine lights? Nothing?
No, just my airbag. As
Of course,
normal.
airbag. We gotta get that fixed. Hold it steady at around 900 RPMs. Not bad. Why don't you let it sit for a couple seconds and then just give me a little blip of the throttle. Let's see if it bogs or if it goes up. Go ahead. A lot smoother. No bog. Let's let it idle for a few. Let's look for any fuel leaks, and then we'll put it all back together. You can go for a drive.
You just gotta keep an eye on it because we had that pile of fuel sitting in the intake.
It evaporated. This is a brand new engine from Titan Engines. It literally only has, well, how many miles? 3,000? Not even?
Yeah, probably around 3,000.
Has about 3,000 miles on it.
Nah, less than that. It's been like, it's 1,000.
So like 1,000 miles on this engine.
149, 222 was their 500-mile mark to redo.
And I'll tell you what, it was not running smooth. I was kind of upset when we got it back because it just didn't idle very well. And I have to tell you, I don't drive your Jeep very often, but that is idling way smoother than it ever did.
It used to idle a lot lower when I was driving it on the highway. After a few minutes of driving it around up on our local highway.
All right, so just to recap, what did we do?
Fuel rail.
Clean it. We took the fuel rail off, changed injectors, put the DEI covers on, put the heat cover on, heat shield,
Heat wrap.
added the phenolic spacer underneath the throttle body. Anything else? Clean the throttle body.
Slurpee.
Slurpees. Oh boy, that was key. You didn't have those in, we could have accelerated at an uncontrolled rate. And if you tried to use the, ooh, it's hot too, isn't it?
Ain't too bad.
Ooh, wow. Let's take it for a drive and see what's up. Here we go. Again, this is just a 4-hole injector upgrade.
My brakes aren't feeling too happy, but whatever.
Brakes have nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
Ooh. So always do that.
Yep.
Crunchies.
Gotta cut them.
Yeah, everything is hot in here, including getting your air conditioning fixed, which you should already have done.
I know. You can yell at me later.
So what do you think?
Responsive.
Feels good?
Yeah.
So, your opinion, because everybody is on the fence. Single hole versus 4-hole injectors.
4-hole has more response.
So everybody says. They say it's better throttle response.
4-hole has better throttle response. I don't feel like I'm waiting a second for my Jeep to actually catch up. On the highway, this should be a lot better.
Let's test our new windsock. All right, well, we're gonna close this one. We've installed the DEI kit. We'll have to come back and see if if it actually improved the boil over of the fuel and the hard starts that you would get just by running it. Anybody go out there, get yourself a set of the 4 holes. I'll put the part number in the description below of the ones used on this particular 4-liter Jeep, and you can go get your own. Where did you go for them?
I went to KFAB Suspension for mine. They were $114 for a completely remanufactured set, which is more or less they blew them out with some mineral spirits. They will work the same if you find the right EV1 connector 4 holes off of any 5-liter at the junkyard. All you have to do is clean them up yourself so that you're not running a dirty set. But either way, they'll work the same.
And that's it. Thank you. We'll see you in the next one.